released or disbursed eventually because we lacked the signature of the president. We couldn't access the president for over 1 year. So I said, if I was a politician, perhaps he would have written to me. And that is the first time ever I thought of being a politician is good. At least I have access to my president. And had we accessed the president, Kitui would be different. Kitui would be just like First World, because the money was yet, the money was at Citibank. The American government had very graciously released all the money which was required for roads, water, agriculture, and everything, and ASAL program. We had done beautiful houses for the expatriates at Kitui and everything, but we lacked presidential signature requesting Congress to come and allow that money to flow. That really upset me.
Okay. Well, our person of interest this morning is none other than John Mututho, and he is currently the chairman of NACADA. And in case you have any questions, remember you can do that via Twitter. You can send them in via Twitter, and we'll be more than happy to see whether we can address them to him. And so far, we've talked about his, well, how he has got into politics, what he dreamt of being an architect, but that never worked out. And again, having come from a very, very humble background, today he is doing a lot. And of course, I know some of you have questions which I can already see are coming through, and we will be addressing them as we go along. But let me come back to you, Honorable Mututho. And one of the things that you're best well known for in this country is the Mututho laws, which of course have to do with alcohol. And there seems to be such a passion in you against alcohol, or to regulate alcohol intake. Tell us about that.
First of all, the first attempt to do alcohol law was not by Mututho. It was by the first LEGICO. LEGICO was Legislative Council. This is the body that was coming to make and adapt laws to govern Africans in 1900 or thereabout. And the first LEGICO is to be held on 17th of August 1907. 17th of August 1907. There are two bills. There are only, forget about now, we have thousands of MCAs and then MPs all over. In the whole of Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, and everywhere, there were 5 representatives in the LEGICO, and plus the governor, who was also doubling as a speaker. And that was at the railway school, now, which is now the railway club out there. The railway had just come in the afternoon of 17th August 1907. The first bill was about slave trade, stopping the slave trade, which was passed. The second one was to do with alcohol, which never passed. So the fight against alcohol using legal means started as early as 1907. And it was not until, and I really thank the retired President Mwai Kibaki, it was not until 13th of August 2013, exactly 103 years later, that the Mututho laws were centered. Why did I do Mututho laws? First, at personal level, I lost a dear brother, Peter, and the last hours of his death are critical to me, are crucial. He was in level 10, Kenyatta, and he started, it all came to liver cancer. And in this liver cancer, he was in deep, deep pain. You should pray for people suffering from cancer. Literally a lot of pain. And the 2 days before he died, he was crying loudly so that you could hear him even in other floors. So loudly was the pain. With the pain, even with the best painkillers. And Kenyatta are good doctors. And do you know what he was saying? He was calling my mother, who had passed on 10 years earlier. So all of a sudden, the man sees my mother as a savior, and my mother used to say, don't drink. You look at it that way. Eventually, within 48 hours, he vomited in the afternoon, a lot of blood, and that was it. Gone to heaven. God bless him in eternal peace. That is one incident. The other incident, and by the way, a day earlier, we had a chat with him, and he was telling me, what are you doing? At that time, I was doing a project in the same hospital. And he was telling me, I hope I'll be out soon and I'll be able to help you to finish up your project. Your project, because he was very good. As a builder, he was a very good contractor. The other thing is that now when I come to look at my agriculture background and come to investigate why have we failed in agriculture, particularly in the last few years, I realize there are 4 factors of production, 4 factors. Number 1 is land, then you have labor, capital, entrepreneurship or management. In agriculture, there are only 4 factors. Alcohol destroys labor in total. In total. It destroys capital. No levy can make a good decision in terms of management, and therefore you have lost it. Eventually you are left with the land, which is plenty in Kenya but cannot be productive. Just came from Kilifi, and my friends from Kilifi know. And all over Kenya, you fly over Kenya, you see a lot of land underutilized or misused or abused because you are missing any of the 4 components in production. So as chairman agriculture, I was in a hurry to try and understand how can we solve this thing. Then I came on to my childhood. I saw my friends. I'm telling you, out of all my childhood friends, only 3 of us succeeded. All the others went down the Chang'an Rain or Buza Rain. So I have had very, very serious reasons to believe alcohol is not good. Then I've studied. I don't drink at all. So I take time to look through the documentary. And I would encourage the viewers in KTN today, wherever you are, whoever you are, no matter how important you feel you are, no matter how gracious you feel you are, no matter what faith you believe in, look through and click at your computer. Alcohol is more dangerous than drugs. You are better off with other drugs and forgetting about alcohol. And that is there. It's not Mututho saying it. There is research all over.
The facts to prove that.
To prove that. Okay. For instance, Miraa is not the best thing to chew. It's listed among the first 20 drugs at number 19. But in that list, number 1 is alcohol. And the dangers posed by alcohol in a scale of about 20 parameters and all those scientific measurements that have been done, alcohol is measuring 72%, Miraa is measuring 9%. That means if you want to know how many times alcohol is more dangerous than Miraa, it is 6 times more dangerous than Miraa. So, but we want to glorify ourselves as chairman, a nice chairman for a brewery company. We want to be the major distributor. And I see people with the fancy cards importing, they import as many as 500 brands of alcohol, some from Juakari in Spain and other places.
Now, one might argue that you are trying to single-handedly deal with a personal issue on a national level. What would you say to that? And when I say personal here, I mean you have history of how alcohol possibly has destroyed. You have friends, but here you are. Then the others, I mean, it's a choice that somebody makes.
I will tell you about humanity. God, when he creates man, and over time, you asked me how young when I was starting. I'm 60. So I have seen the world. And I've come to learn a few things, that when God operates in a single person. God never operates in committees, special task forces. That's for the government, commissions. Even when you hear the judge has disappeared with some money or there's an allegation, there will be a commission to come and do that one. They don't agree. Nobody agrees to take responsibility alone, single-handedly. They'll always has come, a commission, a committee, task force, a whole parliament, a committee, things like that. But if you look biblically, from the beginning of manhood, humanity, God operates through one person. There was only one Moses, only one Elijah, there was only one John the Baptist. I'm telling you, there was only one Moses.
So would you consider yourself the Moses of dealing with alcohol?
No, I'm not Moses. I'm not Moses. I'm just saying that you at KTN here, you can read a fight to tell Kenyans that alcohol is bad. God will hear your prayers. He will give you the tools and necessary equipment. Nobody has tackled alcohol problem more than John Mututho anywhere in Africa. I have caused court action to over 3,000 cases. I am decisive. When I get there and land there in that town, whichever it is, right now I'm heading to, I'm thinking of a place in North Gatundu, which has become synonymous with bad alcohol. I'm thinking there. And when I get there, there will be dust. Trust me. Not that I love dust. I'm not a helicopter. But I come with my whole heart, with my whole brain. That's what people call passion. You can do whatever you're doing. You can be a driver and be a perfect driver. A perfect driver. You can be a teacher, like my head teacher, DP Gadi, who taught me in primary, encouraged me. He could allow me to go with the textbook home, which is the only textbook.
In the whole
but over the weekend, although it's the captain, but I'm allowed to go with it home one of the days, one day. And then I could not sleep or even eat because I have to focus on that book, cover to cover, so that I could pass my KCPE. Anyhow, the fight you do in life, if you look through, like the mayor of New York, when there were 453 gangs, is the mayor of New York who sorted it out. It's not the police chief, it was the mayor who sorted it out. Look at that, the history again.
So would you say you have been successful in sorting out the alcohol problem in Kenya?
Yes, to an extent that everybody knows John Mututho by name and what I stand for. And I thank Wikipedia, so they have listed me among the top most famous people. And they have said it's because of alcohol and drugs, fighting alcohol and drugs.
So is the success based on the fact that now John Mututho is known, or the effects, or what happens?
Every time I speak about alcohol, I give a message. And this message will make you think again. I want to give you a message this morning. And I'm sure when I meet your wife, she will buy me a cup of tea, or she will offer me a cup of tea. I want you to quietly, don't involve anybody, calculate how much money you are using to entertain yourself and your friends with alcohol, vis-a-vis what they are using in the kitchen in your home. You'll be so sorry about yourself, my friend, that tonight you will hardly buy anybody any drink, because you take the value, and I'm not being emotional about this, take the net value of how much money you are spending per day with yourself and your friends
on alcohol.
And these twilight friends. And look at your lovely kids and your wife and the family. Compare the two. And the shocking statistic is that you are using 80% yourself to damage yourself, to pick all the problems. You are using 80% of the family expenditure, disposable income in that area, and the whole family, the sukuma wiki, nyama, ugali, and every rice and everything they are doing they are taking 20%. The 80%, if you could just take 20%, the 80% could be available for them to be taken to holiday in Naivasha, a nice place where I love Naivasha. Nakuru, you could afford.
Well, a good thing is that I don't drink myself, so I don't spend anything on alcohol. But now, coming back to, if Mututho was president, if Mututho was the president of this country, would you do away with alcohol completely?
No, I can't do away with alcohol. I will not even ban alcohol. I will tell you the effect of alcohol. The decision to ban or to drink is personal. I congratulate you if you don't drink. But I must tell you that the ones who are drinking are not devils. They are not evil. Just tell them the effect of alcohol. Let them understand that every time you take a glass of whiskey, you are destroying 1,500 neurons from your brain. Your brain by weight, by volume is reducing. And if you want it to reduce faster, have a glass of whiskey every day. Every day, do it. And from the 100 billion neurons, which was God's gift to you, you end up with maybe half of that late. So if the brain is supposed to make you different from the animals, if the brain is supposed to be what drives great men from human being, and you are reducing at that rate, the decision is yours. Use the same brain to decide how much of it you want to destroy and how quickly you want to become garbage. And let me tell you, there's no levy who dies an intellectual. Nobody, because they have destroyed the neurons, and neurons are just like the thing, I address the youth, it's just like the chips that drive powerful computers. If you are destroying most of it, then what are you left with?